I'm wrapping up this letter that I wrote you. Maybe it's the only way to go through. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. Though it hurts, I only wish you blessings. When intuition talks, you gotta listen. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. 'Cause you build me up to break me down. Never respect the love you found. And I had a voice inside the back of my mind. I always knew it deep down. You don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh, no looking back this time. 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 Running from the truth was getting reckless. In your arms I never felt protected. Oh. 'Cause you don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh. No looking back this time. 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 No looking back this time.
Afternoon. I hope you're all well. I hope you are all well. I wasn't going to do a show today, but there's just been so much stuff that's just dropped in the last 24 hours that I kind of had to. I'm obviously going to do the members show later, which will be after the game, and maybe we can talk a little bit about some news then. But yeah, I've got to do a show. There's been so much stuff that's happened in the last 24 hours that it just makes sense just to get a show done. So I'm potentially going to do an hour for you lucky lot. But before I start, can you please hit the likes and subscribe? Please hit the likes and subscribe. got so much to talk about. Um, it's just non-stop. Like literally, the transfer window ends at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Everybody's talking about who's coming, who's going. There's so much movement across the Premier League as well, like Aston Villa, Manchester United, Arsenal, Manchester City. Wolves have just signed someone. Brentford are about to sign someone. Brentford are about to sell someone. Newcastle have just signed someone. It's all just going crazy in the Premier League. I honestly don't know how the number's going to end up. It could be over 2 billion. Like by the end of this window, I just don't know. Like it's insane. It's insane, and there's still more and more business getting done by clubs. Um, Liverpool have obviously got a couple of moving parts that need to happen. Um, we obviously know that our main targets this season have been signed. There's been two more that are left. I would say two of the biggest ones. I really would. I would say Mark Guehi's probably going to be the most important signing this season. I've said it on a couple of shows now. I think Slot is potentially going to go to a back three with Kirkez and potentially Frimpong as the wide players. I honestly feel that we are now kind of moving to a back three. I think Kirkez might end up dropping out of the team, and Guehi goes in and takes his place with the likes of Guehi, Virgil van Dijk and Kanate. And obviously you'll have a Frimpong or a Bradley, or obviously Dominic Szoboszlai, depending on how long it takes to come back from injury, as the back four. And I know people aren't going to like that. I know people kind of want it to be the old formation that Jurgen had for so long, but I just don't think it suits our play. I just don't think it gives us enough protection. I've watched the games now, and Kirkez is always out of position because he's not a natural centre back. He doesn't know whether to stick or twist. He doesn't know whether to go forward more. He doesn't know whether to maybe drop into midfield because that's what the right back's doing. We watch it over and over again. We're getting done because we haven't got enough players in the positions that we need the players to compete with. We haven't got enough midfielders in the positions. So you get a Newcastle that throw five in midfield. You get a Bournemouth who throw one of their strikers into midfield and then they play with one up front. We're not flexible enough with the back, which is why Kanate looks a mess. It's why everything seems to be bombing down the right-hand side, depending on, regardless of whether we've got a right back there or not. And also with Kirkez. Kirkez is getting done because he's trying to get up the field to be more of what Kirkez is, because Kirkez is a maraudering left back who does a really good job at that. But he's not been able to do that. He's been stagnated in the centre back position more. And when he does get forward, they just pop the ball behind him, and there's no cover. And it makes a lot of sense why Gomez is on the chopping block. It makes a lot of sense as why Gomez is on the chopping block. It makes a lot of sense why we got rid of Kwanzaa now. It makes a lot of sense why we've got rid of Simicast. It makes a lot of sense why we're kind of trimming the squad down now. There's lots and lots going on at Liverpool still, and I don't think Slot is finished. I think it's going to be a busy 24 hours. I really do. And we've got a huge, huge game in between. Like, nobody's talking about this game the way they should because they're too busy talking about Alexander Isak and they're too busy talking about who we signing, who's this, what's happening here, what's happening there. And I'm okay with a bit of a distraction, but we can't write off this game because this is our most important game of the season. Because this game gets us ahead of Arsenal. It gets us ahead of Arsenal. And getting ahead of Arsenal in the first 5 games of the season is one of the most important things that we need to do. Is we need to get a couple of points ahead of our main competitors. And Arsenal are going to be our main competitor. They're about to sign another centre-back. They're about to sign Hincapié, who everybody from Liverpool has raved about and said was going to be the solution for us. They're about to sign him. He's not even going to be a first team player. Like, just let that sink in, because Arsenal have got so much strength and depth in their squad in the back positions. Like, it's crazy. And Liverpool, well, everybody's whinging that we're not going to get Guehi done. Guehi will be done. Guehi will get done. Okay. Liverpool don't bid 35 million with 10% sell-on clause for no reason. Like, Liverpool don't bid 110 million with 10 million add-ons for Alexander Isak for no reason. Like, we are going to follow up. We are going to get our transfers done. There are main targets. There are main targets. They always have been. The only problem with Guehi is Crystal Palace are not a good club to deal with. They're not a good club to deal with. And they also had a really hard situation with being kicked out the Europa League, which means that they needed to go through a qualifying competition, and they asked if they could use Guehi in those 2 games specifically so they could qualify into the Conference League, which means they guaranteed, and also if they could have time to sign a replacement. Well, they've just signed another centre-back. I know there's a lot of rumours that are saying that he's not the guy that's replacing Guehi. He's not the guy that's replacing Guehi. Chris Richards is replacing Guehi. Chris Richards goes in and becomes their centre-back. Okay? He's the centre-back that's going to go in and play all the games when Guehi goes. And the guy that they've just signed, I can't remember his name now. I can't even remember his name. He's going to be the backup. So he's going to be the Chris Richards that comes off the bench. So he's going to be that player. So there's nothing to worry about. Crystal Palace have already made a counter offer. Crystal Palace are doing the stuff that Newcastle didn't do. Crystal Palace are counter offering. If you make a bid and the club isn't happy with it, but the other club comes back with a counter offer, so Crystal Palace want 5 million in add-ons, which means 40 million in total. Okay, Liverpool have offered 35 million and 10 million sell-on clause, which means that it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. If we sell Guehi, then Crystal Palace gets some money. Liverpool will do the deal. They will probably just add the add-ons and the deal will get done. Okay? There's 2 deals which are ongoing right now, and one of them has been accepted. That's according to IndyColor. Okay? And let me show you now. 180 of you in here. Big up, big up, big up. If you can hit the like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. Anybody wants to drop any memberships, can you do it now before we start the show? And if anyone's got any super chats, pop them in now so I can comment on them before we get into the show so I don't miss them. Do remember, I have got the membership show tonight, which is Conspiracies and Rabbit Holes. So if you do want to drop some memberships for people to join tonight, stick them in there now, and I'll do a shout out. If not, let's get on with it. Okay, according to Indy, so the guy that Crystal Palace have signed is called JD Canvot, and he's an 18-year-old centre back who Liverpool also looked at, by the way, and Chelsea. Like, he's a guy that there was a lot of clubs looking at from Toulouse. Good player from the French league. He's the guy that's replacing Chris Richards, and Chris Richards, the American international, will go in and play full-time in the position for Guehi, because Chris Richards has been a guy that's come off the bench a lot. So he's going to be moved into the squad full-time. And Canvot is going to go in as the backup. And they also tried for Gomez, by the way. So they've also asked for Gomez, which isn't going to happen with Crystal Palace. We may sell him. We may sell Gomez. That is a fact. but it's not going to be part of the Guehi package. It's not. It's a straight sale. So we may end up getting all the money that we paid for Guehi back for Gomez. But Gomez is very highly likely going to end up at AC Milan. And I'll show you more on that in a minute. But the stuff from IndyCar is this, which is what I really want to mention, is this. It's only a few words, but it's really important that we understand this. Don't listen to propaganda club briefings. Both bids submitted, Guehi and Isaac. One accepted, one waiting to respond. Okay? Whatever way you want to spin that, I believe Isaac's accepted, Guehi waiting to respond. That's when this came out last night at 11 o'clock. Liverpool were waiting for the counter offer from Crystal Palace, and we've now had it. That's now been confirmed. The counter offer's been confirmed. But the Newcastle offer for Isaac of 130 million has been accepted. Okay? It's on a lot of media websites now. And I want to talk about this as well, because if you look at the media websites which have posted this, that the Isaac deal's been accepted, you have to look at the amount of people that are on these sites. Okay? These aren't IndyCar sites. These are sites with millions and millions of people that are subscribed. Okay, these aren't little no name sites. These are the big deals. These are the big sites that have posted this up. Okay, I also want to do a big shout out to Josh. Guehi, Isaac, Rogers in, Elliott, Simicast, Gomez out. I believe the board can get this done before the deadline. Deal's probably more advanced than we know. 100%. 100%, mate. Thanks so much for the super chat. 100%. I agree. I think the media are a couple of days behind. I believe the media are a couple of days behind. I always feel they have been. The one that I wanted to post up was this. So this was the Isaac one. Breaking, Liverpool and Newcastle have agreed 130 million fee for Alexander Isak. That's from Jan Agafjortov. Look, I'm sorry, but you've got 77 million followers. You ain't going to post that up if it's nonsense. You just aren't. You're not going to post that up if it's nonsense. Why would you do it? You've got 77 million followers. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. The websites that are posting this information are huge. They're absolutely huge. Breaking. Alexander Isak transfer to Liverpool. Oh, hang on. That's not it. Sorry. Remove that. Where is it? This one. Look. Transfer News Live. 3 million followers. This is what I'm trying to say. Like you're not going to post these things up to huge amounts of followers if it's fake. You're just not. Look, say what you want about Jan Agafjortov, but he was bloody right about Haaland before anyone else knew about that. Like, he knew about the Haaland deal before anybody knew about it. But this was the one from Paul Joyce. Second bid. So Liverpool made a second bid for Mark Guehi with 35 million plus 10% sell-on clause. This is the one that IndyCar is talking about. Bid's gone over, no response yet. So this one hasn't been confirmed. Like, it hasn't been accepted or rejected. The counter offer was 35 million plus 5 million add-ons. The original offer from David Ornstein was we offered 30 million. Sorry, we offered 35 million flat, no add-ons. The second offer from Paul Joyce is 35 million plus 10% sell-on clause. The response on the 35 million flat offer from David Ornstein, which Crystal Palace counter-offered, was 35 million plus 5 million add-ons. Liverpool have come back with 35 million plus 10%. We haven't had a response yet. That's what I'm saying. We haven't had a response to this offer. 100%, Jamie. LFC are waiting for the last moment on this window to get Isaac for 120 million. Look, if we've offered 130 and it's been accepted, then it probably is 120 cash and maybe 10 million add-ons. Like, my sources always said 138 million total package for Isaac. They've been 100% on that from day one. Like, they always have. It's a weird number to say. It just is. It's a weird number to say. But that's what they've said. Bleacher Football as well. Liverpool have made a 47 million bid for Palace. All of these sites, 16 million followers, all of these sites are all posting about Liverpool bids, about Liverpool offers. And then you've got Eddie Howe's weird stuff that he's come out with. Sorry, not this one. But then you've got Eddie Howe's weird comments, which I have to talk about, by the way, because it's just a weird comment. So let me play you the Eddie Howe weird comments. Because it's a weird comment. It's this one here. It's this. It's a really odd one. Okay, so we need to dissect this because it's a weird one. As of yet, there are more twists and reports as Eddie Howe had to answer questions of a rumoured farewell event. Okay, so according to Swedish media, who've been right about a lot of stuff, by the way, Swedish media have said that Alexander Isak's already said his goodbyes in the training ground. The thing is, though, Eddie Howe apparently had no clue about this, but it's the way he says it. I have no knowledge of that. I can't tell you it didn't happen. Okay, but I certainly can't tell you it did. That is the first I have heard of it. I'm pretty sure I would have known. It's really weird. Eddie Howe, like, he's just so speaking in riddles all the time. Like, did it happen or didn't it happen? Yes or no? Well, he doesn't know. But I can't tell you it didn't happen, which means it could have happened. Like if you're so sure he's staying, then say he's staying. I mean, just that comment itself just makes me think the guy's gone. Like, the guy's gone. I don't even think the guy's in Newcastle. Like, I don't even think Isak's in Newcastle now. And then you've got this cryptic thing that came out last night from Indy Colour. I mean, this one is wild. Okay, are you ready for this one? From Indy Colour last night. Sorry, not Indy Colour. This one from Max Eberl, Bayern Munich's. I don't know if the Newcastle. I don't know of this. Newcastle United signing Walter Maid was a strategic transfer or a desperate move because Isak is leaving for Liverpool. Like, seriously? Like, you've literally got the director of football of Bayern Munich saying that he thinks Newcastle's signing of Walter Maid was a desperate signing because Isak's leaving. So he knows he's leaving then. He's obviously been told that Walter Maid is replacing Isak and he's leaving. And then you've got this one as well from last night. This one, According to our sources, Alexander Isak is staying in a hotel in Ormskirk while he waits for the phone that his bid has been accepted. Okay, so that means a bid has been sent. Because nobody's saying that a bid's been sent or it hasn't been sent. So you've now got Jan Åge Fjørtoft, before this, by the way, before this post, saying that Liverpool's had a £130 million bid accepted. Yeah. Isak's a done deal. Rumours from Sweden saying that he's already said his farewells. You've got a comment from Bayern Munich's director of football saying that Walter Maid's gone to replace Isak, who's going to Liverpool. And now you've got Indy Kala saying that, well, Isak's in a hotel in Ormskirk, 13 miles away from Liverpool now, waiting for the bid to be accepted. What the hell? like it's absolutely crazy. And now you've got Liverpool making bids for Mark Weahey at the same time. And if you didn't think Liverpool's director of football had enough on his plate, you've now got this one that's completely dropped out of the blue, which came from nowhere, this one. And now you've got Sky in Italy saying that Joe Gomez has had a bid from AC Milan sent over. So Milan wanted a centre-back and they were pushing for a Kanji and they were willing to pay 13 million for the 30-year-old. However, they are considering alternatives. Liverpool defender and Villarreal's Joan Forth are apparently their priorities. Well, according to Italy, Joe Gomez is the number one target for AC Milan, with Rabiot and Dubravik. All three players are number one targets for Fabio Capello. I mean, how much is AC Milan willing to pay? Like, they've literally just paid 37 million euros for Christopher Nkunku. So how much are Milan willing to pay? And how much are Liverpool willing to accept for Joe Gomez? Now you have to look at the bigger picture. Joe Gomez is going to be fifth choice centre back. If we sign Guehi, Joe Gomez is fifth choice centre back. Now, I all understand that people would like to see Joe Gomez stay because he's a reliable person to play in a position. Say he has to play right back, say he has to play left back. We have two left backs. We have two right backs. We also have Dominic Szoboszlai, who definitely playing at right back has definitely given Arne Slot something to think about, because Arne Slot doesn't see Joe Gomez as a right back. I know a lot of the fans do. Arne Slot sees Dominic Szoboszlai as a potential right back. So if you need someone to fill in, then he's going to play Dominic Szoboszlai because he had Joe Gomez on the bench. Joe Gomez will be sold. Joe Gomez will be sold. It's just, how much are we going to get for Joe Gomez? And that's the question. And you also have to look at it. Joe Gomez is on £84,000 a week. We are in a situation now where we've got Ibrahim Konate, who's trying to get £200,000 a week. Taking Joe Gomez off the books could be that. Taking Joe Gomez out of Liverpool's squad gives you £84,000 a week more to play with in the negotiations with Ibrahim Konate. And that's the one. AC Milan. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to AC Milan and balled it and scored on his debut. It's a lot of a slower paced league. But Joe Gomez will leave. And all of this about bidding for Joe Gomez is very interesting because nobody was bidding for Joe Gomez earlier on in the season. Why is that? Well, that's because we hadn't signed Mark Guehi. Well, there's obviously understanding that Mark Guehi is going to be done, which means that Gomez is going to be fifth choice centre back, which means he's surplus to requirements, which is obviously what Liverpool have put out. Clubs have obviously asked about Gomez, and Liverpool have said no because we didn't have Guehi. Now we have Guehi. Clubs have now asked the question again, and Liverpool have gone, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, we're willing to listen to offers. It's pretty obvious. It is pretty obvious for me. I also feel that maybe it's not just AC Milan that might pop in at the last minute for Gomez. Look, Gomez is a really good player. Look, if Aston Villa are in negotiations with Lindelof, why wouldn't Aston Villa try for Gomez? And he can be reunited with his old teammate, Conser. I think that's a deal that can be done. Like, if we want Morgan Rogers, you have Joe Gomez that you can throw into the mix, and you can knock that £70 million, £60 million money from Rogers down to 30 million by throwing Gomez in. Gomez is surplus to requirements at Liverpool, okay? It's a player that Arne Slot doesn't rate. It's a player that Arne Slot obviously doesn't think he's good enough. Otherwise, he wouldn't have signed an 18-year-old kid. He wouldn't have signed Leone, and he wouldn't be signing Guehi. So Gomez will drop down the pecking order. And look, it looks like Liverpool aren't going to have any injury-prone players. They want to get rid of all of those. And they're also looking to move on a lot of Jurgen Klopp's players. Like, he wants change. And Joe Gomez has been at the club for 10 years. He's been at the club for 10 years. He's done his time. He's not had the career that we all wanted him to. And I think he's a fantastic player, by the way, if he's fully fit. But he's just not. Like, he's just pulled up with an Achilles injury in pre-season, which meant that he's missed a couple of games already. Who says that isn't going to happen again? We can't rely on him. He can't be fourth choice because you don't know whether he's going to be fit or not. So we go and get Guehi. He then slots in. We have Leone. We have Canate. We have Virgil. There's your four defenders. Get some money for Gomez. Get the money off the wage budget and maybe give that to Canate. Everybody's happy. We get Canate on another 5-year deal. Gomez goes and plays football somewhere, whether it's AC Milan, whether it's Crystal Palace, whether it's Aston Villa, I don't know, but Aston Villa are looking at a centre-back now, so who knows? But I think that's a deal that'll happen now because Fabrizio Romano said the defender will be allowed to leave if Mark Guehi is signed, and we will only look at a permanent deal. Next up, what else have I got for you? More stuff about Guehi. So that was from Ornstein. 35 million flat. They come back and said they want 35 million plus 5 million add-ons. And then we've gone back with a new bid from Paul Joyce, 35 million plus 10 million sell-on clause. It's not been accepted yet. More on Isaac. This was today. Newcastle remain firm, valuing at around 150 million. There's no strong sense of new bids coming immediately. Liverpool will have to wait and see if Newcastle make the next move, especially as their recent big spending. It's an interesting one that David Ornstein's put in, especially after their recent big spending. And if you do look at a lot of stuff around Isaac, Liverpool have a lot of control in this deal now. Liverpool have the upper hand. Newcastle have spent a lot of money. They just have. Newcastle's overspent for this guy. Like, Bayern Munich rejected going over 35 million for him. Newcastle's the land of the giants. I'm glad we haven't got to play them at their ground again. 6'6" striker Walter Maiden, 6'7" centre back Dan Burn. Yeah, that's going to be a nightmare. So the Konate thing, I wanted to cover this, okay? All right, so this was from my source, yeah? And if you know my sources, please don't say in the chat, okay? I want to keep this one to myself, all right? So if you know who it is, just keep it to yourself, okay? But this is my source. He talked about PSG looking at Ibrahim Konate a while ago, yeah? And he said that if Ibrahim Konate leaves Liverpool, he will go to PSG on a free. He won't go to Real Madrid because PSG have the upper hand because it's his boyhood club and he dreams of playing there one day. All right. This is what I want to make clear, okay? This is what I want to make clear. There were no contract offers on the table and there's been no negotiations with PSG and Liverpool over a potential move. It's not advanced or anything, just initial talks. Paris Saint-Germain prefer Ibrahim Konate next summer on a free transfer, and he plays for Liverpool this year. Real Madrid are also interested in signing him. Yeah. But it's the fact that Ibrahim Konate's choice is to stay with Liverpool and get the deal done for a new contract. Okay? And that's what it says here. His future, he wants to stay at Liverpool, but he wants to be paid. All right? And there's no harm in that. Like, there's no harm in that. I've got nothing against him wanting to get paid. Honestly, nothing against it. But if Liverpool don't value him at 200,000 a week or 250,000 a week, that's nothing to do with us. It doesn't matter what we think. If Liverpool don't value Konate at that money, then Liverpool don't value him at that money and he will leave on a free or we will try and sell him. That's nothing to do with us. Okay? And so far this season, it looks like this is becoming a problem. All of this contract stuff, all of this is Konate going or staying. This is a distraction. And this may be playing into Konate's head. Okay? And this might be the reason why he's all over the place. I don't think it is. I just don't think he's good enough for Liverpool's tactics right now. I think having so much change in the team has disjointed Konate, and he's just not sure where to be and what to do right now. And a lot of Liverpool fans want him gone. A lot of Liverpool fans want him to stay. Like, I think we should probably back our player on this one. And if we are down to 4 centre-backs because Gomez goes, we have to keep Konate. We can't have Endo as fourth choice. We have to keep Konate. And if we are potentially moving to a back three, then that's 3 centre-backs that will all play. And this is another conversation that needs to be had. And I want to show you this because I found it really interesting. The conundrum about why are we signing Guehi? And has Guehi been confirmed that he's going to play? He's going to play all the time. Because Guehi could play as the left back. Because right now our left back is not, it's not a left back. He plays more as a centre back. With the arrival of Kirkes and Frimpong, Slot has not only overhauled his options on the flanks, but also implemented a new system. Under Klopp, Liverpool's Andy Robertson and Alexander-Arnold were renowned for their attacking prowess, and while the England right-back took up a deeper role in the later seasons, the Scotsman was famous for his marauding runs. However, Slot has utilised a shape that sees Kirkes line up along Virgil van Dijk and Canate when the Reds have the ball, forming something akin to a back three in possession. We have the ball 60 to 70% of the time. Kirkes doesn't get to do what he wants to do naturally. And big up Jamie Phillips as well in the chat, who's actually said this, that we might not potentially sign a Morgan Rogers or a player to play on the left-hand side because Slot might play Kirkes there. Because Jamie said this. Slot might actually play Kirkes on the left wing because we will have three centre-backs in Mark Guehi will play in Kirkes' position. And it makes a lot of sense. It really does make a lot of sense. Like, that could be an option in games. The Hungarian has looked nervous so far, and his error on Monday that allowed Bruno Guimaraes to score an inspired header at the back post is just the latest defensive lapse. While it would be unfair to write Kirkes off so quickly, especially that he's only 21, Guehi could fill in at left back in more demanding situations should the boss feel the need to be more robust. As part of Oliver Glasner's side, Guehi operated as the left centre-back in a back three setup at Selhurst Park, and Liverpool, as well, Liverpool's left-back position could also make the switch. 100%. This makes a lot of sense. Like, it really does make a lot of sense. I mean, it does make a lot of sense that he could play for Kirkes. And I know Robbo would drop down the pecking order even more, but so what? Like, so what? No one wants Robbo to play anyway. I feel that's a really interesting move. Yeah, I'm not saying Kirkes is going to start over Cody. I'm saying Kirkes could be an option to bring on for Cody in games. He still would play as a centre-back. That's the point. Liverpool play with a back three in possession. Watch the games. I'm not making this up. Watch the games. Last season, Robbo played as a centre-back so much, and he looked completely out of sorts. He was all over the place. Guehi could be coming in to play on the left-hand side next to Virgil, which means that we would be so much more defensively stronger. And we'd also be able to play the ball out from the back as well, from a number of positions. So I find that an interesting one. Maybe one to think about. What else have we got for you? Also, update on the team news for Arsenal. Odegaard, Trossard and Eze all travelled. Also, Max Doman travelled as well. So that's good news that maybe Odegaard might play, because a lot of Liverpool fans want him to play, which is interesting because I don't want him to play. I'd rather he was injured as well. A couple of players that are out though is Christian Norgard wasn't seen getting on the bus. Neither was Ben White. Obviously, Havertz, Jesus, and Saka were also absent. Also, this one from Indy, which is a wild one, is Nicholas Jackson and Strand Larson were offered to LFC. Liverpool declined the offer. Liverpool only want Isaac or nothing. That's it. It's plan A and there's no plan B. We are all in on Alexander Isaac. Also, this one came in from Schwachhoff, which is exclusive news tonight. Liverpool have made a bid for tonight for Alexander Isak, which has been accepted by Newcastle. What I'm being told is Isak will become a Liverpool player. Briefs will come out tomorrow. So maybe we find out more later on today about that. There was also an embargo that was done with Eddie Howe, which hasn't come out yet either. And there's also a little bit of information saying that Tottenham might also come in for Gomez. He was on Thomas Frank's list, according to Sky Sports. This was also from Fabrizio Romano. Contacts took place today between Liverpool and Newcastle United, which also ties in with IndyCar stuff, which means that Liverpool have spoken to Newcastle, so we will see what happens with that. And we probably also need to talk about this as well, because there seems to be a lot of one-sided media on this. Look, Johan Viss has done exactly what Isak's done. He's released a statement saying that he's been told that he was allowed to leave the club, just like Isak was told. And now he's being forced to stay, and they're turning down offers. I don't see Newcastle or Sky Sports or TalkSport or any other media outlet, BBC, anybody, any other media outlet, castigating Johan Visser, saying he's a scumbag, burning a flag, saying that he's disgusting, he's despicable. I don't see anybody getting on his case, because it's nothing to do with Liverpool. That's why. Because Liverpool aren't involved. That's why. Because it isn't newsworthy, is it? It isn't clickbait worthy. Yeah? Because it's only a small club like Newcastle and Brentford. That's why. It's absolutely pathetic. Honestly, he's done exactly what Isak's done. Yeah? And what? No one's on his case. He's not being talked about on every single channel consistently for the last 2 months. Is he? No, he's not. I have a feeling he'll be there as well, mate. I have a feeling he'll be there. It'll be amazing to see it. Or his agent will. His agent. Hughes and his agent will be there. Exactly. Because he's not joining the 20 times champions. And you have all the players that have come out, by the way, and big up to a lot of them. Like, honestly, big up to a lot of them. Joleon Lescott, Michael Owen. You know, there's a number of players that have come out. Thierry Henry's come out and said it. There's loads of players that have come out now and said. Danny Murphy, Jermaine Pennant. They've all come out and said, big deal. Like, so what? Like, so what if he's refusing to play? like that's what you have to do. And the really interesting thing about all of it, yeah, is it doesn't matter what you say and what you think. Newcastle have not fined Alexander Isak a penny. They haven't fined him for anything that he's done. You can say what you want, but has Isak been told not to train? Has Isak been told to stay away from the club? Because they haven't fined him. And don't you fine someone if they're being disobedient and they're refusing to play and they've gone on strike? Don't you fine that player for that? Because Newcastle haven't fined him. There's no club fine being put in place. There you go. It's probably all the answers you need. But this deal is just one of the most sought out sagas I have ever seen. And the weird thing is, David Ornstein said it would be in March. Go and look at the video. Go and watch the video that he did. Because he said, I know Newcastle fans aren't going to like this, but Alexander Isak is going to be one of the longest transfer sagas of the summer, but he's going to end up at Liverpool because it's a bigger club. That's what he said. That's what he said. And he said it in March. And David Ornstein also said that Liverpool will sign 7 players. And he also named a massive amount of players that will leave, including Harvey Elliott, Kostas Tsimikas, Joe Gomez, Tyler Morton, Ben Doak, Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez. He named them all. And Queven Kelleher. And guess what? He was right. He was right. He said Liverpool will have a massive clear out. And he also said Liverpool are probably going to sign about 7 players. And there was loads of people that said, no, we don't need that many. We only need about 4. 3 or 4. 7. Should we add them up? Shall we add them up? Alexander Isak, Mark Guehi, Milos Kerkez, Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, Leone. Oh, there's one more. One more makes it 7. One more makes it 7. So you have to ask the question. You have to ask the question. Is it Mamadashvili? Because we already signed him, but he was legitimately signed this window. Or is it Morgan Rogers? You have to ask the question. Because all the journos have said, including Paul Joyce, including the likes of Fabrizio Romano, including the likes of Jumbo Pierce, James Pierce said it as well. Oh, sorry, Frimpong. I missed Frimpong. That is 7. That is 7. I miss Frimpong. I'm sorry, I miss Frimpong. That is 7. Okay, 7's done. 7's done. What's that? Came out. Rumours are in Sweden that Isak deal is already done. Yeah. Yep. According to a couple of people, yeah, it was Frimpong. It makes it 8. Maybe it's 8. Maybe it's 8. Maybe it's 8. What else have we got for you? Shall I do some funnies? Yeah, I'll do some funnies. Home game against Burnley in August. 3-2. Funny. Maybe. This one's funny. It is better to sign 10 players at 20 million each than 4 expensive ones. I mean, that's what Ralph Rangnick said. That's what Ralph said. Funnies. Erik ten Hag's future at Bayer Leverkusen is already in danger. The coach will be massively criticised. No, we're not going to count him. I'm sorry, we're not counting him. We're not counting Pesky. We're not counting Will Wright either because they go into the under-21s. No, he didn't. Rodgers, Fabrizio said nothing about Rodgers. I know. Funnies. Should we do another funny? Chelsea spent $2 billion for this. Delap, Garnacho, Buonanotte, and Neto. That's their lineup against Barcelona at home. Maybe João Pedro. I don't know. Maybe João Pedro. But 2 billion. 2 billion, man. It's crazy. Crazy money. Absolutely crazy money. So this also popped up as well. Like I haven't actually. I'm not going to credit the channel. It's actually from TNT, but by the way, but Newcastle are looking at a Ukrainian striker Artem Dobrak for 30 million. So I thought I'd post that one up as well because Newcastle are still looking for another striker. They're still looking for another striker. So they've clearly got money. I wonder where they've got the money from. Oh, yeah. They've probably got Liverpool money, haven't they? What else have I got for you? Also, what Arnie said as well, I want to mention. My job is always to look for perfection, and we are not there yet as a team. At least he's honest. Like, we know that there are areas in which we can do better collectively. I have said many times that my job is always to look for perfection, and we are not there yet as a team. I like the fact that Arnie is he's confirming that we've still got work to do. Like there's still things that need work. There's over 320 of you in here. Big up everyone. If you can hit the like, subscribe, that would be amazing. And 320 of you, like, if you want to become a member, join, because I'm doing a member show tonight, which is Conspiracies and Rabbit Holes. If you want to know how good the show is, ask some of the chat. Some of the chat will vouch for it being an absolute blockbuster of a show, and it's 2 hours long. Why not join? It's 99p, and you can watch all my previous shows, and you can also see all of my members' posts as well of my tour, my visits to Anfield. So get involved, become a member, and if you do become a member, join now, because then it'll pop up in the chat, and I'll be able to big you up. But there's 320 of you in here, and if you don't become a member, just do something for free. Can you just hit the like and subscribe, and then hit the notification bell, and then you'll get notified when I go live. That's free. At least do that. Yeah, over 320 of you in here. At least do that. Get involved. I'm trying to grow the channel. Organic following as well. Nearly 2,000 subscribers with nearly 400 members, and it's all organic. So get involved, gang. Get involved and become a rebel. All right. What else have I got? I haven't got a huge amount more. So there was a stuff from Lee Ryder. Newcastle were taunted with chants of "Isaac is gone" by Leeds United supporters, which I thought was hilarious. And they didn't score a goal, which I also thought was hilarious. They could have made this so much easier. Like, they really could have, but they just haven't. And I love the fact that they're suffering because of it, and they dropped loads of points because they just didn't get the deal done. Like, just get the deal done. Also, Real Madrid, according to Defensa Central, which I'm not really sure is a reputable outlet, but they were quoted 55 million euros by Liverpool for Canate. Liverpool have always been solid. Like 42 million quid will get you Canate, but no one's ever stumped it up. And I find that weird. I genuinely do. Like, if he's so valuable, you would pay 40 million for him, wouldn't you? if he's so valuable. But no one will. Which really does make you wonder. It does make you wonder, like, why? Why won't teams pay? And then obviously the stuff about Gomez came from the BBC. Crystal Palace had an interest in taking him on loan as part of the Liverpool move. Liverpool would reject any formal proposal of any kind. Well, their stance has softened because Guehi releases Gomez. And then some other fantastic news is Cody has signed a new long-term contract, which we've talked about, and I have mentioned it, that Liverpool have been in discussions to renew his contract. Finally, it got done. That's one player that accepts the money and wants to stay. So, well done, Liverpool, for getting that deal done. Liverpool aren't going to let players run their contracts down anymore. This is not going to happen anymore. And I've said this numerous times, we have the adults back at the club. We just got McConnell down on a 5-year contract and then sent him out on loan. Cody's now on a long-term contract. We're in discussions with Curtis Jones. We've just done Bradley on a long-term contract. Mo and Virgil have extended their contracts. We're in discussions with McAllister. We're in discussions with Curtis Jones. Andy Robinson will leave on a free next year. That's a fact. Kostas Tsimikas had 2 years left. We've sent him out. He's got an £8.5 million release clause that will be activated. So they'll be able to buy him next season for £8.5 million. He's on loan now to Roma, but we're getting all his wages paid for. So this is how we're going to do things. This is how we're doing things now. Joe Gomez signed a new deal 2 years ago. We're probably going to get 30 million, 25 million for him, which is good money. So that's probably going to happen. So we're not going to take people running down their contracts anymore. And you also have to understand that this Konate deal, Konate could leave. He could leave by the end of this window. In 24 hours, Konate might leave. If money comes in, I'm pretty sure Liverpool will look at it because he still hasn't signed a new deal. But right now, if Gomez goes, I think that's confirmed that Liverpool are going to work hard on getting this Konate deal over the line, which means we will have Virgil, Konate, Guehi and Leone as our 4 centre-backs. That is a brilliant set of centre-backs. That is brilliant. Leone's just being called up to the Italian team. Konate's being called up to the England team. Trent hasn't. Konate's been called up to the England team, to the French team. So Virgil's Dutch captain, and then Guehi's in the England team. Plenty of players in all the positions. And this is one thing I wanted to cover before we finish, because I was just going to do an hour today. So I've done 2 teams, okay? I've made up 2 teams. So I've got the first team for Liverpool, and I've got the second team for Liverpool for next season, okay? Just let me know what you think. Okay? So this is our first team, yeah? So it'll be Alisson Becker, it'll be Kirkes, it'll be Virgil, Konate, Frimpong, Gravenberch, McAllister, Cody, Wirtz, Salah and Isaac. That for me is our first team squad, okay? If everybody's fit, yeah, that would be the first team squad. If we play 4-2-3-1, okay. And now you have the second team. This is the amount of depth that Liverpool have. Okay, this is the amount of depth that Liverpool have right now. And I get it. I get people are talking about a lot of things like, oh, maybe we need this, maybe we need a midfield, maybe we need this, boo boo. Boo hoo. Yeah? That is our second string team. That's a Premier League team. Like, I don't care who you're talking about. That team is a Premier League team. I think that team could probably get you into the top 8 in the Premier League. Got Mamadashvili, you got Andy Robertson, you got Mark Wahey, you got Leone, you got Conor Bradley, you got Endo, you got Curtis Jones, you got Rio, you got Dominic Szoboszlai, you got Chiesa, and you got Ekitike. I mean, seriously? I mean, and then you've also still got backup in midfield, Trey Ione and Stefan Bacesic, and you've also got Jayden Danns. Like, are we like this is the best. This is the best it's ever been. This is Liverpool 1 and Liverpool 2. Like, this is Liverpool 2 that you can play against most teams in the FA Cup, most teams in the Carabao Cup, some of the lesser teams in the Champions League. Like, you could play this team against Marseille, PSV at home. You could. You really could. Like, that is a good team. Like, you have a Scottish international captain. You have one of the best goalkeepers in Europe in Mamadashvili there. You've got Mark Wahey, who's an England international. You've got Leone, who's an Italian international. You've got Conor Bradley, who's the Northern Ireland international and the captain. You've got Endo, who's the Japanese captain. You've got Curtis Jones, who's an England international. You've got Rio, who I don't know what he can be, but he's special. Dominic Szoboszlai, who's the Hungarian captain. You've got Chiesa, who's just been called up to the Italian squad again. And you've got Ekitike, who everyone's confused why he didn't get picked for France. That's our second string team. Liverpool have an unbelievable amount of depth. So for people to say we haven't got depth anymore, blow it out your arse. Blow it out of your arse. And I've taken Harvey Elliott out of there and I've taken Joe Gomez out of there because potentially I think they'll be sold. I think RB Leipzig are going to put a bid in for Gomez. I think that's a deal that's going to happen. RB Leipzig are about to lose a Pender as well to Bayern Munich. They've already lost Xavi Simons. Crystal Palace are looking at Baumgartner as another player to take from RB Leipzig. I think they're going to go for Harvey Elliott. But even if they don't, then you've got Harvey Elliott in that team as well. The amount of depth Liverpool have got is unreal off the bench. It's unreal. And that's what I'm telling you about. That's what I'm talking about. First team, do we look at the first team again? Look at the first team again. Alisson Becker, best goalkeeper in the world. Milos Kerkez, possibly the best left back in the Premier League. He won team of the season, left back, whether you like it or not. Virgil van Dijk, best centre back in the world. Canate, probably third or fourth best centre back in the Premier League. Jerome Frimpong, special talent. Dutch international, Gravenberch, won Premier League Player of the Season, also won Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, Gravenberch. Dutch international, Alexis McAllister, World Cup winner, possibly one of the best midfielders in the world, if you ask me. I think he's probably the best midfielder in the Premier League. Cody Gakpo, unbelievable player, so underrated. Dutch international, scores goals for fun for Holland, scores goals for fun and assists for Liverpool now. Florian Wirtz, generational talent, incredible player, German international, won the title, undefeated. Same with Frimpong for a whole season. Mo Salah, best right back, best right winger in the world. And then Alexander Isak, top 5 striker in the world. Premier League proven. Like, seriously? This is what Liverpool have this season. And it is special. It is special. Guehi and Isak complete Liverpool. They complete Liverpool. And you can move Elliott on. You can move Elliott on, you can move Gomez on. We have enough strength and depth right across the board. And I'll bring up the backup. The backup team is enough to get top 8 in the Premier League anyway. Our backup team could potentially win a lot of Premier League games. I ain't got a problem with that midfield in games. You play that midfield against the bottom 10 teams, Jones and Endo, and they'll win. and the defence will. It's crazy. It's crazy how much our fan base are crying about our depth. Really? Really? Crying about our depth. If we sign Isak, Ekitike is going to be depth. Chiesa's going to be depth for Salah. Dominic Szoboszlai is going to be depth when McAllister's back, because it's going to be McAllister, it's going to be Gravenberch, and it's going to be Wirtz. Like, and to have him and Jones as backup is unreal. Like, Robbo's been one of the best left backs in the world for a number of years. Like, the last couple of years, he's on the decline, but he's still a great squad option. Mark Guehi? What? Leone? Everyone's raving about this kid. He's in our squad. And then Connor Bradley. Like, and then you got Rio. Like, Rio could be anything. I don't know. But I'm excited. I am very, very excited for what Liverpool are going to accomplish and what we're going to show. It's a super team. You're absolutely right. It is a super team. It's a super team. Look, all I'm saying, like, is when we did the Prem and we nearly done the Champions League, our bench had Divock Origi, James Milner. Who else did we have? Nico Williams. Joe Gomez. And Shaqiri. That was our bench. Our bench is that team. Our bench will be Robbo, Bradley, Endo, Jones, Guehi, Chiesa, Szoboszlai, Ekitike, Rio. Like, seriously? That's our bench. That is a million miles away. That is a million miles away from what we had in the past. A million miles away. Anyway, so this is where we are right now. 24 hours to go. Liverpool already making bids. 2 have gone in, according to media outlets. So according to media sources, according to media sources, Guehi bid's gone in. Second one's gone in now, according to Paul Joyce, waiting on a response. And obviously, Alexander Isak, apparently the deal's been done, 130 million to Yanov Fjortov. It's been posted by a lot of people. Also, Indy Callis says that it's been accepted and he's waiting in Ormskirk. I mean, Newcastle have made a number of bids for players now, so they've obviously got money. Gomez bid came in today from AC Milan. Harvey Elliott's on the verge of joining RB Leipzig, depending on the money. There's a lot happening. Liverpool still movers and shakers. We're not finished. I think we'll get Isak and Guehi done. They were our number one targets. I don't think that's going to change. And we've got a massive game tonight. Massive game tonight. I hope McAllister's back. He's needed. And up the Reds. I will see you all later. Let's support the team. Let's manifest these transfers. And let's just believe in the process, because so far so good, it's worked. And if we get to save 30 million and maybe another 15 million because we've holded on a little bit longer for Guehi and Isaac, and to be honest, we've given them a lot of leeway. We've let them try and get their players to replace them, which they have now. So there's no excuses. Let's get these ones over the line, and let's go on and dominate the Premier League. But yep, I'll see you all later. Please become a member and join the show later. It's in my it's in on my channel. I posted it up today, and just before I go, I just want to do another quick shout out to Match Bingo, who sponsors my show. Use the QR codes and download the app today. You've obviously got Liverpool playing Arsenal today, and I'll let you know how many people are involved in that. If you join today, with £10, when you deposit £5, you get £10 free, and it's £2 per ticket. And the games today are Brighton, Manchester City at 2:00, where there's 31 players and 92 cards. Nottingham Forest, West Ham, where there's 40 players and 90 cards. And obviously Liverpool and Arsenal, where there's 43 players and 150 cards. There's a couple of other big games. Aston Villa, which is obviously at 7 o'clock tonight, which is 17 players and 59 cards. Download the app today. Obviously, gamble responsibly. And thank you, Match Bingo, for sponsoring my show. The link to the website is in my description, so download that today or go and check it out and see if you like it. If you scan the QR code now, because I'm going to put it away. I'm just going to send you on to another show. 2 seconds. This show's had 135 likes, so thank you very much for that. Let me just see who's live. So I'm going to send you over to who's live. There's no one live. Right, okay. Right, I'm gonna send you over to Don, who starts at 4. So you'll go straight over to Donny Sand's show. So whacking came at raid early. Yeah. So I'll send you over to Don's show. Hit the like and subscribe before you go. Let's get the algorithm up. Let me see how many subs I've got. I have. I'm going to do this thing again where I check my subs live because it's funny. 2 seconds, because there's over 200 of you in here. See if we can get this up. Okay, so I've got 1,860. Can we see if we can get another 10 subscribers while we're here? Can we see if we can get another 10 subscribers quickly? Come on, can we do that? At least 5. Let's do 5 subscribers while I'm sat here now. Okay, I'm clicking it live now. So let's see if we can get 5 subscribers. Can we do it? Can we do it? Let's do it live. Let's do it live. See if we can get 5 subscribers while we're here. 5 subscribers. Come on. Can you do it? Can you do it? 184 likes. Thank you very much. All right, and I'm out of here, okay? Check out Don's show later. I might be in the chat, and I also might do the halftime show with him. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But remember, if you want to subscribe, if you want to become a member, join the membership, and then you can check out the show tonight at 9:00. I will see you all later. My prediction was 2-1 Liverpool against Arsenal. And I've always said we will get Isaac and we will get Guehi. All right. Just had one. We just had one. I'll take that. All right. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye.